This is going to be a look at only end zone angle footage, primarily trying to focus on Travon Walker's play against the Baltimore Ravens in Week 12. If you look at his stat line from that game, they only credit him with one tackle. I really don't know how that is. I clearly see two tackles. I think I show you both of them in this video. Sometimes I'm not sure about NFL stat lines. I do know that he should not have a sack. Does that mean that he didn't play bad? He didn't get a single quarterback hit, a single quarterback sack or pressure? No, that just in and of itself, that's not what that means. But if you watch the gameplay, I was very surprised. I thought that with Ronnie Stanley in the game, the Ravens had a really good matchup in terms of something that could be swung in their favor. And when Mekari was out there at left tackle, I thought they were going to be at a severe disadvantage, and that was not the case. And if you're a Jags fan listening to this or anyone else, look, I'm a huge Travon Walker fan. Go back and look at my content. Go on my YouTube channel and search Walker, and you'll find at least 3 videos that come up, maybe 4, including who's the best rookie edge rusher in the NFL that I'll try to link up right now in the top right corner if you want to click it and save it for later. That's a pretty comprehensive view through 6 weeks of rookie edge defenders: Aiden Hutchinson, Travon Walker, Kayvon Thibodeau, Boye Mafe, George Karlaftis, Arnold Ebiketie. And I think Travon Walker's got a bright future. I was very surprised. I expected him to have more of an impact. Again, I don't think that one tackle in 54 or 55 snaps is accurate. I think he was involved in 2 tackles. And it's not like the Ravens chipped him all game either to help out Patrick Mekari. They did not. I do see 2 wins in here in terms of pass rush for Travon Walker. This is 18 plays, only going to be pass sets, to be honest with you. Actually, I think there's 1 run play in here. But there's a telling comparison here. You're going to see Arden Key line up twice against Patrick Mekari in this video. And one of them is the cleanest win that you could find as an edge rusher on a pass play. And you didn't see that type of win once from Travon Walker. Am I saying that he's not a good player? No. I would want him on my team immediately, and he would play every snap. Well, he'd play, right now it looks like he's playing about 55, 60 snaps a game, something like that, especially when they have Josh Allen and they have Arden Key, who has some ability as well. So we're going to get into the film. Like I said, it's going to be 18 plays. Travon Walker is generally playing on the defense's right, which is going to be our left side of the screen most of the time from the end zone angle. Let's get into the film. Mostly pass plays here, like I said. And the one thing that you'll see when you do get the rep from Arden Key is like the use of his hands is just not automatic right now. Travon Walker, to me, this might not be a great comparison. Number one, I see this oftentimes with his steps. I see him false stepping early when the ball is snapped, and I mean a big false step. I don't know how far this step is. I think he's stepping to just outside the hash. That's a pretty big false step, and I feel like he loses ground on that step initially. Now, granted, the Ravens' offense, kind of puts edge rushers in some conflict with leaving them unblocked. So in some of these 1st and 10 situations, you might get that from an edge rusher, even from a guy who thinks he's identified its pass versus a 3rd and 10 where pass is coming and you don't see that false step. So that's entirely possible that explains some of it. But I do see it. I think I saw it 6 times in this game from Sunday. Play action pass. One of the few times where I feel like he's starting to win. This is first possession. The overthrow to Demarcus Robinson. Again, I don't feel like his use of his hands is as abrupt and as automatic. His moves seem a little slower than Arden Key's and even Josh Allen's on the other side. And you're welcome to pause or rewind and go back and watch Josh Allen's or some of Arden Key's moves for comparison if you want. I would prefer this stance from Travon Walker. Outside foot forward so that the inside foot could come forward violently and start to attack now. Like, watch T.J. Watt when he gets in this stance. And I feel like it serves him. This is what his first sack was on of the year. And look at the hustle, by the way. I mean, one thing about Travon Walker is he never stops playing football. This is the technique that his first sack was on against Washington in Week 1. It was from the opposite side of the field, meaning he was lined up on the defense's left. A little chop. Now, I think Mekari's prepared for it. The chop doesn't work. But then the rip kind of does. gets him clear. Mekari keeps riding and staying on him. And then look at the hustle. I think Mekari is a quality sixth offensive lineman. I think that's the biggest asset he has as a Ravens fan and Ravens content creator. That seems to be the role that makes the most sense, so you can plug him in wherever you need to. There was a lot of us, myself included, that were like, why isn't Mekari being allowed to compete for this job at left guard? Ben Powers has done a pretty good job this year, even though I think some of his weaknesses were exposed in the last 2 weeks against the Panthers and then the Jaguars. All right, again, off the right side of the defense, left side of our screen, I just do not feel like the moves with his hands are violent, abrupt, and attacking. It seems like Mekari had a pretty good handle on what types of moves Walker was going to do. Now, I do like this stance, like I said, with the outside foot forward for him, because at least it gets him attacking. When he was in that more flat stance that I showed you earlier, his first step with the inside foot was down, and it's not like his key, which is the tackle, was stepping down. Which block down, step down tells you to step down when your key blocks down. I like him attacking and reading on the run because he's so physical, so strong, and so gifted. I feel like that puts him in the best position to put pressure on the offensive tackle. Trying to bull rush, quick release. There's nothing that an edge rusher can do when the ball's going to be released this quickly. Ravens probably need more of this, more three-step, routes. Get the ball out. Don't let the pass rush, get upfield in a way that they can disrupt Lamar. Mekari seems to be doing a pretty good job of anchoring down there, if you ask me. You guys that are more experienced offensive line guys than me can let me know. He's getting help from the left guard because the left guard got help from Linderbaum. So you can watch how they flow and pass this off. Powers passes off to Linderbaum, and then Powers goes and helps with Travon Walker. I just don't see clean wins from Travon Walker yet. I think that shows up in the fact that he only has 2.5 sacks this year. Again, if you're just now listening, like, would I take Travon Walker on my team? Absolutely. Would I start him? You're damn right. I mean, he's a great prospect. He's got a lot of potential. I think you've seen that in certain points of the year. Again, I mentioned this earlier. If you don't believe me or you think I'm just throwing something out there as a disclaimer, like, go look at my channel and see the things that I said about him 6-8 weeks ago early in the season. Arden Key out here. The Ravens need to run more of this. This puts defenses in so much conflict. Just count the numbers when we catch this football. Duve has the ball, and then you got 2 lead blockers. One of them's a fullback, and one of them's a tight end. 1, 2, 3 defenders with the fourth guy, which is Foye Oluokun, chasing. I'm not sure why the Ravens don't do this more. I understand it's 3-by-1, so back over here you're leaving a tight end. So if you want to run, you're running to a tight end nobody side. I understand that, but you're putting so much horizontal stretch on the defense. I feel like you could do this and keep a wide receiver backside, a Demarcus Robinson, a Deshaun Jackson, someone backside with a little bit of downfield threat so that you're stretching the defense horizontally this way, and you have the potential to stretch the defense vertically to the other side, hopefully creating staggered defenses. But in any case, Travon Walker's not on the field here, but look at Arden Key. He's attacking. He's a lot thinner than I thought, to be honest with you. I thought he was a bigger, guy who played a little bit of D tackle. It's not the case at all. He looks like a 3-4 outside linebacker. Quick. Did a nice job of covering, did a nice job of covering Mark Andrews on a wheel route. All right, Travon Walker back in. Has the possibility of being chipped, which Ricard does. It's going to be very difficult to defeat a left tackle who's getting this much help. So, yes, were there times where Patrick Mekari got help? Absolutely. It's a great throw by Lamar on the run, man. Stuck it in there. Demarcus Robinson, I thought he caught the ball at first. Unfortunate for the Ravens that he was unable to do so. Fortunate for the Jags that the Ravens had a drop touchdown pass there, a drop touchdown pass by Josh Oliver, another one by Mark Andrews, but the Ravens scored 2 plays later, so it's not like they lost any points in that equation, but the first 2 that I mentioned, they did. All right, now the end zone angle is flipped, and I think coming up soon here, you're going to get Arden Key versus Patrick Mekari, and you'll see the difference in what I'm talking about in using his hands. Quick pass play, getting the ball out of here again. Josh Allen getting his hands up. I didn't think Josh Allen, really put a whole lot of pressure on Lamar going up against Morgan Moses. I thought the Ravens tackles did a pretty good job. I don't know what Josh Allen's stats look like for the game. Like I said, I'm a big Travon Walker fan, have tried to track his progress throughout the year. My goal was to get 5 or 6 Travon Walker videos on my channel by the end of the season so that myself and others could kind of go back and watch the analysis and say, oh, he was right about this, or oh, you were way off base on this, coach, or whatever the case may be. All right, Arden Key in here. Watch the move. We'll watch this back 2 or 3 times, full speed. There is a very clear difference. It's a great play by the safety. I think Arden Key plays a role in this pass, possibly. I mean, Lamar gets it off, but his lower body is being impeded by Arden Key right now. Ball gets out of there. Deshaun Jackson, I called him Deshaun Watson in another video. Deshaun Jackson has an opportunity to catch the ball. Great play by the safety, Cisco. So credit to him. But the move, compare it to Travon Walker's move. Travon Walker's very young. Never redshirted at Georgia, I don't think. Played 3 years. So, he's still extremely young. The Jags have got a great talent, very young. Do I think he'll be a 10, 12-plus sack a season guy? Abso-freaking-lutely. Right now, are his moves refined enough to show that type of consistent threat? It doesn't seem like it, but I can't say definitively. I don't get to watch Travon Walker film like this every week in terms of this in-depth. I don't get to just save up 20 end zone angle plays and watch it as closely as I can understand and then hopefully relate to you. I don't get to do that every week because the Ravens content takes up so much time. I think Travon Walker understands here pre-snap that, and Mark Andrews was not nearly as open here as it kind of looked live. I think he understands pre-snap that Patrick Mekari is looking right at this 3 technique and is probably getting ready to down block. So I think Walker is anticipating the possibility of run here. In this case, it ends up being the Ravens pass pro that's essentially gap pass pro where the center blocks back and the guard pulls, trying to give inside linebackers, what for a moment could look like a run read because it's a pulling lineman. But in this case, Muma and Oluwakin are very well trained and very smart, and they're able to get out of here and try to pick up the crosser. Watch what Muma does. Watch his helmet here on the snap. I know we're talking about Travon Walker, but I like to digress. Look, again, Walker's not rushing. He thinks there's possibility of run here. I think he could react a little quicker to this play action fake and then get upfield. I think he could be on the move already and attacking. Because let's be honest, if it's a play action, the running back's going to try to cross his face, and you're going to try to collision the running back, it doesn't seem like that's what the Jags edge defenders do, like a 3-4 outside linebacker. You would want to get upfield. You would want to attack the upfield shoulder, the outside shoulder. In any case, get back to Muma on the play action. Watch him look this way and pick up Andrews on the deep over. You can see it a little bit. I know he's disappearing from your screen. Here's Andrews running the route, and there's Muma staying underneath of him. There's a trailing DB behind him. So you have underneath by Muma, you have the DB who was running across the screen with Andrews, who is beat, and then a recovering safety, which I think is Cisco. To me, that it wasn't anywhere near as open as I thought it was live, and a lot of us thought it was live. The Jags gave Lamar, one particular angle throwing arc and one particular spot to throw the football, and we were unable to get it there. 3rd and 8. This will be my concern right now. I do like the attack. To me, it doesn't look like he's respecting Patrick Mekari's ability to anchor down because he's just trying to long arm him. He does move him, but it's not enough time to get back there and get to Lamar. Do I think that Travon Walker's got a bright future? Yeah. I think that it seems, and if there's Jags fans who watched this far, correct me in the comment section. It seems as if you're getting more games like this than you are games like the Washington game in week 1. Where I know he had his first career sack, his first career interception, and he made a fantastic play on the screenplay. Not just the interception. I know it was an interception on a screenplay that he almost took to the house. But there was another screen attempt Very similar to this play where he makes the tackle for like a 1 or 2 yard gain. Watch his commitment to keeping playing football and then trying to knock the ball out. Right here is his arm up underneath trying to knock the ball out from. That's one of those things like if you're in the NFL and you have the ball, a running back, tight end, wide receiver, it's jackals that you're dealing with. You have to assume every moment that you're inside the sidelines there, inside those white lines, and you have the ball in your hand, that someone is an instant away from stripping you. This is a great effort by Walker and other guys, don't get me wrong. The Jags defense played with a lot of heart, played with a lot of speed and tenacity, as can be example, as is shown there. Off the right side again, this is a 13th play. I think we got 4 more. Another situation where he can kind of assume run based on Mekari's stance. Look at Mekari staring right at the 3 technique. Travon Walker isn't in a flat stance. He's got his feet switched now. The inside foot is up and the outside foot is back. Sometimes guys will do that if they think they're going to get like stretch or outside zone to their side. It's the one receiver side. Ravens don't run to that side. Ravens never run to the side where there's only one receiver unless the fullback is going to read the option like Lamar and try to get out and block the front side inside backer. I hope that after this video, I hope Travon Walker has 3 sacks next week. I do. I really do. And I hope some of his moves are a little quicker. They did drop him in coverage some, don't get me wrong. So it's not like in 54 snaps, 32 pass plays by Lamar, Travon Walker was 0 for 32. I think he was 2 for 16 will be my guess. That may even not be an accurate number. I got 2 wins. Let me put it that way. One of them is going to be a hold that you're going to see here in a moment. Again, it's RPO. I think the Ravens need to do more of this. They need to do more of this, even when it's not an RPO and it's just a play action fake. He's got Josh Oliver lined up against him here. Now, look, there's 2 beautiful plays that Travon Walker makes against the run that I'm not showing you here, all right? So it's not like there weren't plays where he had an impact. Again, you got this false step. To me, he's lined up head up. From what I know, if you're lined up head up and you have a 3 inside here, your job is to get hands on the tight end. Prevent the tight end from getting a release. You're already compromised as a DN in terms of your pass rush because you're probably going to get chipped by the tight end and then have the tackle work on you as well. So you're already compromised. So we might as well get the benefit of you being there and get hands on Ricard. But that's clearly not the call here for the Jags. And I'm just concerned about this. I'm glad he's playing on the right side all the time. I'm glad he is. It allows him to work on the technique playing from one side. He might be a left-handed person. He might be left-handed and enjoy playing with his left arm, his strong arm on the inside. And this might be a right-handed guy. Most of the kids that we played on right outside linebacker in our 3-4, the ones that were really good, the ones that preferred to play over there, most of them were left-handed. I'm just concerned about the big step to the inside that if you ask me, loses him. A step lost in the beginning is a step and a half lost a second or 2 later. That's the way we looked at it. Mekari clearly looks like he's in a pass set situation here, or he could be pulling. And I like this one. He's trying to get a bull rush going, and he gets involved. The relentlessness that Travon Walker plays with is an asset. The strength, a huge asset. The versatility, huge asset. The playmaking ability. Like I said, he's got an interception this year. I think he might have 2 interceptions. No, he's got 1. He had a great play on a screen against Washington in week 1. All of those things are in his favor, and that's why I thought this was going to be a real matchup that the Jags took advantage of. It turned out it was not. Run play away from him. If you track him, he actually does get involved in a tackle here. Now, there's multiple guys involved in a tackle. Jags just have that kind of defense, young guys that get after it. Travon Walker here on the QB power read by Lamar. Here's his helmet. He's committed to getting involved in the play. It looks like all of their defenders play with a high level of intensity, high level of passion. You have to give Patrick Mekari credit. To me, this is the only clear win that you've got. Maybe 2, actually. I'm sorry. I don't know if I even show you the other one. It's a hold on Mekari, obviously. Great throw by Lamar. A little bit low to Prochet running a wheel up the right sideline. But Lamar's getting flushed out. Because for whatever reason, even though he's right-handed, Lamar, well, he's looking this way, so I get it. His peripheral vision, he can pick up the pressure here. He's so great at this. Understanding that there's pressure coming from one side, even when it's to his backside. Clear hold by Mekari here coming up. Were they to play again, I think that will be in Walker's favor. This game reminded me, in terms of the Travon Walker-Patrick Mekari matchup. If you'd listen this long, you get another sports analogy. I'm a huge boxing and MMA fan. This reminded me of a young fighter, boxer, against an old pro who knows all the tricks. I know Mekari hasn't been a starter, for most of his career, but he did start at center in 2020. He did start at right tackle a lot last year. Went through some injury difficulties around about week 9, 10, 11, somewhere around there, and the rest of the season thereafter was a lot more inconsistent. You can see a clear line between how well he played early in the season, and then I think it was his right ankle that he injured. Mekari, in this comparison, he's the old fighter who knows all the tricks, who knows how to make you work on the inside. Maybe he does the old Ali trick and pulls your head down to make you work because you're trying to pull your head up, and the ref doesn't warn him enough, like Ali used to do to all the fighters that were shorter than him. Travon Walker in this scenario is the younger, more athletic, stronger boxer who probably loses 115 to 113. Well, I'm talking 15 round. That's how old I am. I'm using 15 round number scoring systems here, but loses a split decision. And if they were to rematch, he would probably have a huge edge because he would have learned from some of those tricks. I probably wasn't able to point out some of the detailed things that Mekari did, to be honest with you. Not a huge offensive line coach, but I can recognize, what's a win, what's not, what's a good move. I thought Travon Walker had some good moves in here. I did. I thought Lamar got rid of the ball quickly sometimes on some 3-step concepts. And then there were some times where they chipped him. So every loss in terms of only having one tackle, not having any quarterback hits, not having any sacks. I hate judgy people. For me to be able to try to pass judgment at all, I have to look at the film and probably look at it 2 or 3 times. I don't feel smart enough to be able to judge just based on one look and just based on looking at the stats, but I know other people are different. You guys let me know what you think of the Travon Walker-Patrick Mekari matchup. I'll try to do stuff like this every week as time like that is available. My next thing that I'll be working on late tonight will be a look at the Ravens' defensive collapse in the fourth quarter. I wanted to take a serious look at that and get a look at those plays multiple times, so I was prepared and offering you the best analysis that I'm capable of. Appreciate you guys' time. Let me know what you think of the video in the comment section.